Well, Allison, thank you for coming on the Red Carpet Roundtable podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So let's dig into what got Allison into the entertainment industry.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I guess we'll start from the beginning. I always loved performing, singing, dancing, anything. And so I started doing musicals. I think it was middle school, like the minute I could try out for a play. And it's funny because I started out kind of shy, which you wouldn't think. So I would do like the background and the chorus. I think I played a nun in The Sound of Music as my first role. But then I just really fell in love with it and the stage and all the behind the scenes, everything that goes into putting on a production. And so I went home and I studied really hard and I practiced and I said, I'm going to get a lead role. So I probably annoyed the heck out of my parents. They dealt with me singing all the time. And then as a freshman, I was able to get my first lead role in a musical. And that was very exciting at the time when you're, what, 15? So yeah, that just kind of kicked off my love for the arts and just really getting to study a character and put the work into it and then watch that transform.
You know, and you're based in Arizona,
Yeah, I am now.
and
I've moved around quite a bit.
let's dig into the film industry, the television industry in Arizona. Um, Can you tell the audience and what have you noticed? Is it growing? Because I know Arizona and Phoenix and Tucson, you have Sedona, you have Flagstaff, you have
Hmm.
Kingsman. I've been to Arizona and I have family in Arizona. But um, you know, there's so much beautiful scenery and so much beautiful places that you can film and act and all that. So, just a curiosity, as yourself, do you believe the film industry is growing there increasingly, or do you think it's just, blah, because you're so close to California, it's just not really?
I think so. From what I've been hearing, there's a lot of up and coming projects. We have a really good indie scene here. That's how I kind of got into indie films was I moved here during COVID. I had lost all of my acting contracts at the time. I was sent home from a theater tour I was on. And so it was a really hard time for artists. We didn't have any work.
Mm-hmm.
Budgets were gone. And so it was a great time to figure out how to produce our own projects because I think all of us as artists, we want to be creating and it's not really about money for us. We just want to find a way to do our work. And so I was able to meet some filmmakers and groups through that and kind of that's what I've been doing the last few years. I do work a full-time job, so I've kind of been doing it more on the side with a plan of hopefully being able to do more in the future. But from what I've heard, yeah, there's a lot of productions coming here.
Mm-hmm.
I know they shoot quite a bit of commercial work. I haven't got involved in that side yet. I used to
Right.
shoot quite a bit in California. So the advantage of like being in California, you just have access to more
Mm-hmm.
work.
And that's the one thing about Arizona, part of me. You're so close to California.
Hmm.
And you said
Yeah,
you're a
so
full-time worker. Also, you can correct me, you're a full-time mother, is that correct?
no, I'm not a mother.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
But
sorry.
I do foster kittens. I I just had a little foster. I'm just a cat mom.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I'm
That
like a freelance cat mom.
that's probably my previous actress I talked to. I am so sorry. I feel so bad. I really do.
No,
I'm
that's
so sorry.
totally fine. We can put
Um,
that in there.
again, I deeply apologize. And I really do mean it. I'm so sorry. Um, being in the film industry, you look at everything that's going on, and your testimony is telling that you have to work a full-time job and then also working as an actress or an actor. And you were telling a lot of young and upcoming actresses, teenagers and kids that, especially young adults who want to get into the industry, excuse me, you have to have a thick skin because and I think for you is a big testimony because I'm about to ask you this question, but you know, a lot of them want to work part-time because they're afraid that, okay, I got a call. I have to go. I have to do this
Hmm.
set. And and that's a sacrifice. It's like part-time acting, part-time job. And so for you, this is where the question comes in. You mentioned you're a full-time worker. How do you find the time to work full-time and then be able to be like, I got a call. I have to go to set. I'm on set maybe 2 weeks. Worst case scenario, 4 weeks. How do you know? And I'm maybe imagining this in the future, but how do you, and hopefully your employee is okay with it, but how do you tell your employee or how do you prepare getting ready to be on set and you're also
Hmm.
getting paid?
Yeah, that's a great question. And over the years, I don't have an easy answer. I would say pursuing acting has come with its challenges of really you're trying to figure out how to make a living and then still be able to act. I will say things are way different now than they were pre-COVID. Remote work has been a game changer, I think, for artists or people like me. I do freelance marketing, consulting, freelance writing, things like that. So I can really do it from anywhere. That's allowed me to be able to still do my job, make a living, and then
Hmm.
do my art when I can. I don't have a perfect answer, but what a lot of us do, like for example, we just shot a movie in April. It's coming out soon on Prime. We do it in super condensed schedules. Like all of us have day jobs, so our director will call us up and we plan a trip and we'll go away for a week. So I just put it on my calendar as a vacation, but actually I'm out filming a horror movie. So I will say it's a lot of scheduling and
Hmm.
figuring things out. So most of us are taking time off work. I have some actors that are like not telling their employer. So they're like, don't post anything on social media because we don't want them to think we're crazy. Like we're out in the woods, you know, chasing each
Right.
other around with fake
And
blood and
and
stuff.
I totally understand because you're right. Being an actor or an actress, it's like a thick skin. It's tough. But and and I believe that a lot of actors should get, if they can, get a job they can work from home.
Yeah.
And part-time job, there's a lot of actors in California, New York, Chicago, Dallas, Phoenix, for example, Las Vegas, etc., that they said, you know what, I refuse to work an office job. And they're like,
Hmm.
why? They're like, well, because you're not going to be able to escape. If you work
Yeah.
at a restaurant or, like, I can't say names, but restaurants, you are able to hopefully be able to step away or get away and
Hmm.
do your roles. So that's one thing I think I wish, in my opinion, a lot of jobs would understand that because a lot of acting is for sure a challenge and you have to have a
Hmm.
thick skin.
Yeah, the work part people wouldn't realize is sometimes you're choosing between them. But I think remote work's a game changer. A lot of
Hmm.
people, a freelance like me now, they have a creative skill that they're able to use to make money at. And I love what
Yes.
I do. Like people will sometimes ask me, which one would you pick? I like business and I like acting. It's just the perfect combination. Like it keeps my days
Hmm.
interesting. If I do get to book a project or go do that, it's so fun.
Amazing. Yes.
And it might take a lot of planning and maybe the opportunities they don't come up as much as we'd want to, but
Hmm.
um, when we go away and make a movie once a year, it is just a blast and it's really some of the best times of my life. And it
Amazing.
makes all the work worth it. Maybe I don't remember
Yes.
all the days in my office sending emails, but I remember being on set. And I've been lucky to create a career where my clients do know I act. I'm able to show up as my full self. They get a kick out of it. They encourage me. It wasn't always that way. I used to be the person that dressed in black and like snuck into my corporate office and like, tried to blend in. And I get to be a lot more of myself now,
Mhm.
just
And you
working
get
from
to
home.
relax, be in your own comfort zone.
Yeah, sometimes I'm at a coffee shop or so my goal is to do more of that. I won't lie. It's not easy when when you're doing it yourself, if unless you're independently wealthy. I am not. I have to
No,
work.
me
So
either.
I try to save and work for those moments, and I don't know what those will
Mhm.
be. Acting is wildly unpredictable. That's
And
another thing people don't
yes,
understand. You don't, unless you're going to write and produce and create your own project, you don't know what you're
no,
going to
no.
get
And
cast
the
in.
thing I want to say is in acting, um, you get to play different characters,
Hmm.
your own character. So, before we get into that part, I want to talk about thick skin
Oh my.
because a lot, no, and I know people think people when they hear that, they don't understand that. They're like, for example, you may tell a young actress who wants to get into it, and they're like, Allison, you're crazy. What do you mean you have to have a thick skin? And I talk a lot about this for almost every guest because it's important to talk about it. Because when you're auditioning, when you're doing it in Zoom or being in public, and they're like, what? I didn't get the role? Am I not
Mhm.
tall enough? If my hair is not long enough, is something wrong? It's what? For males and females. And it's not that. It's about you weren't ready, you weren't fit for the role. It's not for you. And I just feel like we need to talk more about it because a lot of young actors, and I totally understand, they get so
Hmm.
disencouraged, young, and they're like, what is this? Why? And then the more older they get, when they hear you have to have a thick skin, they're like, oh, this is what it is. You need to be prepared with getting a lot of no's before getting a lot of yes. So for you, Allison, what was your journey? Experience that roller coaster until you got the yes.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely, true for any actor or anyone in the creative field. You have to become equipped to handling rejection. And in a sense, you have to learn to love it because otherwise you're going to give up. And if you're in it for the wrong reasons, you're getting into money, fame, ego, any superficial reasons, you probably will quit and give up because that's not going to give you a reason to keep showing up and doing it. I would know all of us that do it kind of on the indie level, we just love our craft. I think when you have your goal on set on what you want to accomplish and that you love your art, it makes it exciting to try. So I worry less about the outcome and I'm more proud and excited that I tried, that I put myself out there, that I made the connection. We're also in an industry where connections really matter. So you're more likely to get a call and get cast based on your previous work of someone working with you. So it's important to cast a wide net and get out there and show what you can do.
Hmm. Amen. Just like John made me help me get connection with you.
Yes, we love John. Yeah, and I said, who wants to listen to me on a podcast? But he encouraged me and he said, it's showbiz, baby. Put on the
Yes. Because to be honest, shout out to John.
Yeah,
I
and you
said,
could have rejected me on this podcast, but it's like it was cool to even try. And
hmm
I think if you can find that exciting,
yeah.
like I'm an entrepreneur at heart too. I think they go hand in hand. Like to be an actor, you're kind of to be entrepreneurial, you're
And
creating.
that's why, for me, I love interviewing actors and actresses and singers and models and directors and producers, writers, beginners or not. I love interviewing anybody in the entertainment industry. And so I appreciate John. He's like,
Sean, where are
John
you?
is
I
like,
hear he's in
I
Hollywood,
have I
in
have
LA right now.
someone, and he said, reach out to her. And I said, yes, I will, John. So I appreciate John and I appreciate you. And it's the truth right there. That's a testimony. is the connection, excuse me, connection in the entertainment industry. And I
Hmm.
also want to say that Instagram, a lot of people are like, we get so glued to our phone. I love my phone. I love Instagram. I'm on there. Oh, well, you really don't know how long I'm on Instagram. I'm actually It's actually embarrassing, but not embarrassing. I am stalking. I don't want to say stalking, but I am looking at everybody's actor's
Oh,
Instagram, and I'm like liking it and like. It's like, ooh, yes, go, go, go. And to me, it's encouragement because I want them the knowledge that, hey, I'm paying attention. I'm cheering for you. I'm here for you. I may not be there, but I'm going. I know it's kind of weird saying stalking, but it's like, what I'm trying to say. It's like we're helping each other.
I'll be
And
keeping an eye out for you.
yeah,
Just
and
kidding.
no, just kidding. And I think a lot of people do not understand. And what I mean by wording stalking is that we have to support each other in the entertainment industry. We
Hmm.
are a family, and family is helping each other. Meaning, that's what I mean by stalking, because we can say, hey, like John did for me, helping me get connected with you. I could get somebody else to help me get connected with someone else or someone, so on, so on. And it all comes back down to with this audition to person or self-tape. You may not get the role, but it all comes down to it's like, hey, we're looking for someone. And you'd be like, well, Allison, do you know anybody? Yes, this person came when I was there, remember? And this person may be fit for this role.
Hmm.
Here's their Instagram. Go stalk them. Go find them on Instagram. Connect with them. I'm like, what? Yes. Oh, I remember them. Go. I'll message them for you too. Get connected. And they're like, how did you hear about me? I heard them from Allison. Oh, really? Yeah, I think you're fit for this role. And that to me is what I mean by stalking, is because we are a family. And
Hmm.
we are a small community, and I feel like you have a lot of young actors and even adults and male and or females. You have family members who do not support you in the entertainment industry. They don't support you. And that is so disheartening and so upsetting and so sad when you don't have your own family members supporting you. And they feel like they're doing this on their own until they
Yeah.
get on Instagram and they look in their community. Okay, I'm gonna look at actors in Arizona. Well, where can I find actors in Arizona? Okay, let me look on Instagram. Let me look at, places or TV sets, and you're like, oh wow, there's actually actors in here. There's actually, let me
Hmm.
get, that to me, it's powerful because, that's how we support each other, and we have to. I say we do have to support each other in the entertainment industry. And it's not about competition. It's not about, we all go to audition. We all do it on Zoom. We see your faces. And it's like, we can't get mad at, for example, at Brian because he got the role and I didn't get the role, right? It's not
Hmm.
that, right? We are supporting each other, and I think that right there is a lot of people should understand. And also, you know, I don't I don't understand our fan base. When they go see a movie and TV shows, they don't give credit to the film crew. They only
Yeah.
give credit to the actors and the
Hmm.
directors and producer. So every time when I see a movie, I stalk every name, meaning I
Oh, that's
sit
cool.
there and I am watching every single name and I'm acknowledging them. And it's people are like, this is the first time when I'm saying stalking. This is the first time I've seen it, but I'm using that term. I'm using that term because I'm giving credit to each one of those names, including,
Absolutely.
the film crew, the light crew, the sound crew, the stunt workers. Because if we don't give them credit, because if there's one person that's missing, a light person, there's no, what is that? The film can't go, the TV can't go, right?
Hmm.
Or or if you're missing is another stunt person, can't do it, you know. So to me, I just feel like I wish a lot of fans, a lot of audiences would understand. You gotta give credit to the film crew.
Yeah, there's a lot of movie magic that happens behind the scenes. And that kind of ties back into being an actor. I think when you approach it with that it's not about you, it's about working together, collaborating to make a story come to life. That really makes it easier to work with others. It also makes it easier to handle rejection because you just have to keep thinking, it's not all about me. Even though acting is very visual when you're on the screen, there's so many other people and things that go into it. And I think it just keeps you humble, it keeps you balanced, and it lets things roll off easier. I always tell myself at the end of the day, it's acting. It's not real. So if I'm rejected, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's all we're
It's
just
part
playing
of
pretend
it.
here. Yeah. And I'm able to kind of like laugh it off and have fun with it. And maybe I have a different perspective than some
Mm-hmm.
people, but I just find some of the behind the scenes
Yeah.
hilarious and just the opportunity that I get to do this and I've
Mm-hmm.
found a way to incorporate it into my life. It's it's just so much fun. And the
Right.
groups I work with,
100%.
we're very lighthearted and even in our group chats from the last movie I did and talking with John, we have just hilarious stuff that it just really tells you it's not that serious
Mm-mm.
and
We're a
life's not that,
family.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's fun
And
and
one thing, I want to say is a lot of people might be wondering what I mean, why we have to, every actor and actress is, it's, it's so wrong for me to saying this, but we stalk each other. It's because I'm sorry, it's the truth. I know a lot of people
oh
are
my
like, "Oh my gosh," right? What does he mean by stalking? No,
God.
I'm not talking about that way, everybody. Don't worry. I'm talking about we are we when you're on Instagram, you get all these likes from other actors. And to me, it's just powerful because we're a family and you talk about like you be on set and it's like we become a family and it's
Hmm.
like you are so surprised becoming a family on set. It's like you're total strangers, you don't know each other, and you're on set for 2 3 weeks and it gets so emotional when the set is over and you all go separate ways and may never see each other again, or you may. And it all comes down to like, what's your Instagram? What's your information, contact information, so we can stay connected.
Hmm.
And that's that's where it goes into becoming a family. And that is like so powerful. And I don't know, words can't describe it. You have that bond. And it's
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
like you have that instance of like, oh, maybe something's not right. Let me call this person. Say, hey, are you okay? It's like, no, I'm not. But how did you know? It's like, well, I have that bond instance, and it's like you family film set. And it's,
Yeah, I agree. And I think in our society, we've over the years become more and more isolated. A lot of things are done on technology now, which is a great tool, by the way. But acting is like the one time that you get to be together with people. And a lot of times, like you said, we're living together on these trips. We don't have technology because there's usually a no phone policy. The places I film are always some kind of remote mountain, so I have no cell service. But it's so great to unplug and just be together and
Hmm.
like, focus and create
For
something.
me, I would panic.
Oh, you would. I got one story that would make you panic. One set
Okay,
we were
I'm
on.
listening.
So this was actually my first indie film when I first got into film, and I was pretty new to Arizona. I moved here during COVID to kind of I needed to kind of land somewhere and start over. And I find this casting, and it sounds like yeah, a horror movie. Literally the castings on Craigslist, which I know sounds crazy, but I'll explain. And I'm reading through it, and I actually booked quite a few gigs this way. I don't know if I'd do it in present day, but so I'm going through the casting and it's like, okay, we're gonna be on a mountain in somewhere in Arizona. No cell service. We're gonna be living there in cabins. We're gonna film a cult movie. And the trip and food and everything will be comped for you. Here's my IMDb, the movies will go up Amazon, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm reading it. This looks legit. Reach out to the director. We set up like a FaceTime, and that's how I ended up getting booked into the role of Apple. And so this turned out being our cult classic movie, The Vortex Voices. You can find it's all over YouTube now. They've like picked it up. My face is plastered on it. I don't know what's going on. But it's on Amazon Prime, Tubi, things like that. And yeah, I had to tell my family, and they knew that I would go off and do these projects and do acting. Oh yeah, I'm going on this mountain. You're not going to hear from me for 6 days. I'm going to be with this cult. Like it literally sounds like I'm going to end up on Dateline. So yeah, but I trusted everyone. I hit it off with Jason. Shout out to Jason, our director. He's amazing. I did a couple meet and greets with the cast before we went up, but I practically drove up onto this mountain with strangers. Like I remember just making the drive and it was switchbacks. So I'm like gripping the wheel. And once you got up there, it was like, I'm like, well, I'm not going back down. So we're making this movie. And it was just an absolute dead zone. So we lived like we were in a real cult for, I think it was 5 or 6 days we were up there. And yeah, there's a lot of things that happened. But I'm friends with the people to this day. We bonded so much. I just saw one of my roommates at my last premiere and we
Hmm.
were catching up. So like just such great memories.
Mm-mm. I gotta have
Um,
technology.
yeah, that was one of the best parts for me because we were like deep in the middle of COVID where people like everything was digital and like unplugging like did something to my brain. But we were like around the campfire at night making marshmallows, hanging out at each other's cabins. We ate meals together and it's so crazy to say that that's not our normal way of living anymore, but we crave that kind of community and connection. So, yeah, it was just, and I think if we would have had technology, it's easy between scenes for people to be Instagramming on their phone, you know. So, I mean, if something went wrong, like nobody could find us. I'm like, I'm gonna end up on the news. One person did show up on the mountain and left because he said his girlfriend reported him missing and he like ran away. And we ended up playing all of our own extras in the movie because some of them chickened out and just they were too freaked out when they saw the cabins and like, whoa. So we did a little bit of double duty, but we pulled it off. And I went on to make several films with this director and this cast. So it's one of my best memories, I think, just living up there and
Wow.
being a cult member.
Very interesting. I could never, yeah, I could never live without my phone. I think I have to have,
Yeah, it's surprisingly like once you're there, I think it's plus, we're so busy too. Like we're acting we're on a schedule. And so even this last movie we shot, there was days where we didn't have service and we're down we were down by a river. in an undisclosed spot. But I think because of what I do for a living, I'm always connected. I'm talking with clients, I'm on Zoom, email. I probably texting way too much. It's like my chance to unplug,
Right.
almost like a therapy to just step away.
Mhm.
And I need to do it more often. But yeah, with acting, it takes so much focus. I think that's what people wouldn't know. It's incredibly, you've got to stay in it for every shot. So
Hmm.
days you're on set, you're not in your phone. Sometimes, you're getting a behind the scenes picture here or there, but usually they have someone doing that. But your focus is all on, getting the job done. Um, and it teaches me just a lot about life, like being present,
Hmm.
being truly present in what you're doing. And we could all do a
Right.
better job. I know I can. There's some days I just need to slow down and be where I am.
Hmm.
Acting forces you to do that, like everything. So if I'm going to drink a cup of water, if I'm doing it on camera, I'm really paying attention to all the detail. It's everything from my hand, how I'm picking up the cup, the motion. It's you're zoning in on little things that you would do day to day and not think about. Suddenly, you're thinking about all of it.
Wow. Very interesting.
Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know, but it's like when you're there, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much happening, and you have to stay in it, and everything from eye contact to like, what's my face doing, and that's not things I think. I don't know what my
Right.
face is doing day to
100%.
day. Yeah. Like I've had to learn facial expressions and micro expressions, and I'm kind of just learning as I go because I'm like, how do people learn this? I don't,
Yeah.
it's an interesting concept.
It
But
is.
your director helps a lot with that, but I'm still figuring it out.
I totally understand. It's hard. And then that's good. The director is
Yeah.
helping you. Any upcoming projects
Um, mm,
that you can
nothing.
talk about?
Nothing on the calendar right now, but we did just have a release for Piercing Screams. So this is a horror movie just in time for Halloween. I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but it should be coming out on Amazon Prime. We're just waiting for it to get get picked up. So we'll keep you posted, and then it should be on other platforms as well. Usually it'll be on like Tubi, and we'll
Hmm.
see who else kind of picks it up.
Amazing.
Um, in real life, I'll tell you, I don't like horror movies, and I'm like scared to watch them. So I was at the theater like freaking out during some of the scenes, and I was there in the movie for parts of it, but I'm just closing my eyes.
Horror movies are amazing.
They're amazing if you're not the one that's killed. No, I had a super fun time filming it. I think it gives me a new respect for horror and
Hmm.
uh,
Now, the horror movie that scared me was The Conjuring.
oh gosh, oh my. Yeah, that's really scary. I would say this wasn't like as scare. It's kind of like it's campy at 70. It's a little bit slasher. Um, my friends who came, they weren't exactly scared. Maybe I was the most scared because I
Hmm.
was just like, oh. So there's some things happening. I don't want to give too much away. Um, but yeah, it was really fun to do. I think it's fun to stretch yourself as an actor, like doing the cult movie and doing this. It's characters I would have never thought, and it really stretched me out of
Comfort zone.
my comfort zone. Yeah,
Wow.
I would have never, um, thought I'd be brainwashed in a cult.
Hmm.
I don't know if I could be again. It took such an amount of focus to be like, I don't even know if I can do the face. I'll have to send you a clip after this, or maybe you could cut one in. But it's like my character was like, can't even do it. Like, I don't even know. It was so in it. But when I was there, I mean, I really was just zoned out into
Wow.
this world, everything from the way we talked. But it's so different than my normal personality. I'm very bubbly and happy. So when I have to play a character, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so hard to not laugh right now. Um, so yeah, and then, horror movie, there's certain things where I didn't know, like, how do you rehearse for this? I don't want to give
Right,
away the
right.
scene, but I'm like, okay, we're gonna just go in there and give it all we got.
Hmm.
And I think that was a great, um, experience for me. My
Hmm.
director Jason gave me good advice that you really need to let go and
Right.
you can't have any fear. You can't be worrying about what you look like or what's going on. Really let go and be in the moment and be in
Hmm.
the emotion with the character. That's what comes off on the screen as good acting. So I'm still learning that. I will say I'm learning as I go, but I'm not
Yeah.
afraid to show up and try. I love the work. And so it's just kind of, you just keep doing it.
Amazing. I'm glad you love the work and um, and I'm so proud of you. Keep up the good work, you know, and being an actor and actresses getting into character is tough.
Yeah, it's so different on screen, especially because I was trained in stage acting and they're two complete. You can certainly pull from each other. Stage training is good. It's completely different on camera. So I've been kind of learning over the years doing these films, and most of my work has been done on camera. And I just think you get better with each one, but it's a whole uh different type of acting.
Hmm.
Stage acting's more big and you're kind of zoomed out, and on film, you're really looking at micro expressions and every moment matters and everything that you're doing. Sometimes it's not what you're saying, it's your body language
Right.
and your reaction to other characters. So it's not like you just say your line and you're done. You're still in the scene and you are
Hmm.
reacting. But, and the thing people don't know when I explain movies, they don't realize we don't film this stuff no movie or TV show you see is just like filmed in chronological order. It's not a play. So what's hard for me as an actor is a lot of times you're shooting stuff backwards or out of order and it's chopped up into pieces. You're going to do maybe a 1 minute scene, could take 8 hours to film, and then that's cut into something. And when you're learning it and you're trying to teach yourself a whole film, it's kind of trippy because you're like, wait, I'm here and I'm wearing this on this day, and it's day one on set, but it's actually day three in the script. And you're trying to, it's a lot. So that's
Wow.
what I went through with the last movie of like, I have to sit and like quiz myself on, what day is it in real life? And what am I wearing? What's my makeup? What am I doing? And then
Hmm.
connect that and keep continuity. And we don't have the big crews. Like I don't have hairstylist makeup. So we have to do our best with continuity of I'm getting ready in the dark at 5 a.m. in an Airbnb with 10 people. Like, so I'm doing my best to keep things consistent when they're filmed on the last day. For example, I filmed on the first day of my shoot my end scenes for the movie.
Wow.
So that's been something surprising when I explain to people they're like, why would you do that out of order? But it's how all film and TV
Hmm.
is
It
done,
is
and it's done
true.
in different locations, and it could be done in different months or years, sometimes.
That's that's so true. It is, getting ready and so many people and oh, it talks about um the testimony of hard work as being an actor
Hmm.
and the sacrifice and if you love what you're doing then keep going and that's why everybody keeps saying you gotta love this, you gotta love what you're
Hmm.
doing because
Absolutely. Yeah, you would give up if, your first night out in the cold doing a shoot until 3, 4 in the morning. If you didn't love it, you'd be like, what the heck is this?
yeah,
Like, why am I out here and
have
I'm
to
not
love
getting
it.
paid? And yeah, so for us, it's like we just look forward to it and um, constantly trying to find ways to get
Mm-hmm.
involved and yeah, which love doing the work.
100%. We gotta love it. So where can people find you on social media?
Well, I guess we covered Instagram. You can find me there. That's where I post my Instagram stories are pretty funny. That's like more behind the scenes, my day-to-day life. And then I do plan on posting more acting. I'm going to be getting new headshots this fall, my reel, and getting more into booking and putting myself out there more. So that's a little bit of the journey I'm on. Um, And I always say you have to start somewhere and you've kind of got to push yourself when you're not ready. And
Mhm.
I get those thoughts sometimes, so I know other people probably do too. Like you think, "Oh, I'm not ready yet. I don't have all the stuff everyone else has." But that's okay. You can still show up and do the work anyways. So that's kind of what I'm doing is
Very true,
work
very
on putting
true.
myself out there more and not worry, just be yourself. And I don't have, you can look at some actors and like everybody's award winning and maybe people have Oscars and all this. And I'm just an unknown actor. Um, but I'm me and I'm gonna keep showing up and I know how to entertain. So
Hmm. That's true,
it's
100%.
okay if you don't have all that other stuff. And it's funny, people always asking my goal. They're like, what are you trying to do? And I'm like, I just want to be an unknown actor. I just want to do my work.
Right. I don't I,
Kiss me, please.
I don't
But yeah,
blame
I'm
you.
not into it for the accolades and stuff. Like that stuff just doesn't matter that much to me. I mean, cool if you have that, but it's not really what I'm after.
Right. I totally understand and I hear you. Just you're just in it to do because we love it.
Yeah, if I get the opportunity, if I get to travel and I've got to see some really cool places acting and I call it like a side quest. It's like
Hmm.
I always tell people you don't want to wake up every day and live the same day over and over,
No,
right?
you
Like we
don't.
all have jobs we have to do and get repetitive. Life can get repetitive. Stuff's gonna happen and tragedy's gonna happen and you're gonna have happy moments and sad moments. And if you have a passion and a purpose and something to look forward to, I think that that can propel you forward in so many ways and just give such meaning to your life. And
Hmm.
that's how I really feel that way about the arts. It's exciting. It's like a choose your own adventure. I never know what the next year is going to bring or what I'm going to find. And I really look at it that way of like, oh, like what's out there for me.
100%. And you're right. You never know what's out there for you. And it's all the opportunities, as actors get in the entertainment industry. 100% true. And so it's just this journey of hard work pays off.
Hmm. Yeah, and so much work. People wouldn't know it, but there's so much work ethic that goes into it. And part of it is talent, but part of it's just being easy to work with. Like directors are going to call back who's reliable. You have to be very coachable to be an actor. It's a very specific skill set.
Hmm.
You have to not get in your own head and get nervous or stop the production. Like, for example, if we're shooting a scene, I might have to do a line 20 times, from different angles. And you've got to be able to just stay in it and keep going. If you mess up, you just pause and then keep going. You never say, "Oh gosh, I messed up." Like that would annoy your director. So there's
Yeah.
all these little nuances that you learn that makes you a very coachable
Hmm.
actor to work with. That people wouldn't know. They think it looks so easy. And believe me, it does. When you're watching TV, like it's it looks glamorous, it looks easy, but um a lot of times we're roughing it, especially on low budget stuff. I don't know, maybe it is glamorous if you're like in Hollywood, but even some of them, I mean, most people you have to understand are working actors.
Right.
Unless you're that top 1%, most of us are not making millions. It's kind of like professional sports. I would compare it
Mhm.
to that. There's very few, of course, there's going to be people at the top. Most of us are not living that glamorous life.
Right. That's true. Most of
Maybe
us
a
are
few.
not.
Yeah, and it's not why we do it. So it's still work, but it's fun work.
Yeah. It all comes down to you gotta love what you're doing.
Hmm.
100%. Allison, I do appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks so much. This was so fun. I can talk about acting all day. It's one of my favorite
Yes. And I
subjects.
would love to have you back on again in the near future.
Maybe John and I need to come on.
Yes. Yes. We need to get a hold of John. Let's schedule that for sure. I would
That would
love
be
to have you and
fun.
John on here. I'm serious.
We'll do some improv. But yeah,
Yes,
I
I
just
would.
hope it can encourage, young actors and people that
Hmm.
if you think you're not ready to start, or you think you don't have something, a story to share or something to bring to the table, you do. And I'm very much in this journey with you. I don't have it all figured out. Like I thought, I was like, I can't go on a podcast. I don't have a big brand and I don't have this and that, but that's okay. And it's like we're creating our story as we go. And hopefully that'll encourage somebody to just put themselves out there
Amen. I totally agree with you.
and be unfamous. It's cool. It's like the
Yes.
trend.
Encourage people to come on. Encourage people to come on. I would love to have you and John on.
We should do it. I'll see if I can call his agent. That's another thing. We all joke around on set. We're like, my agent called and he said, like we make up
Yes.
all kinds of stories.
So let's this is what we'll do. You should text John and we'll figure out a date.
Should we text him right now? And we do, as far as upcoming projects, there's something we have in a group chat right now. So we just got to see if we can get it out of the group chat, and it might involve John and our producer Chuck. And
Okay, let me know and then we'll
yeah,
definitely talk
so
more about it.
we have like a writing meeting scheduled for this weekend, and it might, I don't know if put out some teasers. Some of my favorite movies are like a Hallmark Christmas rom-com, and so there might be a little bit of that, and I might make a writing debut. So it started off as kind of a joke, but we've been having so much fun writing it. So we're going to see what we can pull off on our timeline.
Okay. Definitely cannot wait. We'll
You can
definitely need to
come
have John
be a
on.
character in it.
Yes, John needs to come
We can
on.
do some promo for it. But yeah, definitely check out Piercing Screams, and I can send over some other clips, and just don't watch them before bed or the vortex. You might
Yes,
get
definitely not.
brainwashed. I think people thought I was in an actual cult after that. It was just, yeah, sometimes people have trouble separating the real life from the acting, and
Hmm.
it's quite funny. I'm like, I promise I'm not brainwashed.
Uh, I definitely need to check it out, and we'll definitely reach out to John. I would love to have you and John on for sure.
That would be so fun.
Well, thank you again, Miss Allison. I enjoyed speaking with you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye bye.